welcome everyone to the penultimate round of the 2014 GP4 Offline Championship. We are here for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix at the Yas Marina circuit. So after a week break after the title was won in the last round by Jay McKenzie, with Will Miller winning the US Grand Prix, means that unfortunately this season the title will not go down to the final round in Brazil. And I think I'm pretty sure for the first time it has been won 2 races before the end of the season. But anyway, as well as the Drivers' Championship being done last week, the Constructors' Championship could be decided today here in Abu Dhabi. So this could be a very interesting race indeed. But again, congratulations to Jay McKenzie for winning the title last time out. But that was last time out at the US Grand Prix. So we're here in Abu Dhabi to see what else could happen if he can extend his lead, or maybe if there's going to be several battles in the midfield. So the race rating was given an 8.5 out of 10, and the driver of the day was Will Miller. But anyway, let's get on to the starting grid for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the third night race of the season, as well, I might add. And it was Romain Quagg, who is currently second place in the championship on pole position, with Waze Kuba in second, Florian Volker, good qualifying by him for Ferrari in third, Jay McKenzie in fourth, veteran Vedrino, good qualifying by him as well, impressive for him in fifth place, Joseph Willis in sixth, and All Force India fourth row with Amar Khan seventh and Michael Murcher eighth. With Robert Ionescu ninth, although he dropped 5 places due to a grid penalty incurred from last race, so he was originally fourth. With Miguel Gascal in 10th, 11th place is Will Miller, and 12th is Franco Gamba. 13th place is Rick Yan, followed by Oliver Glazebrook in 14th. 15th place is Cameron Anderson with Kirosima De Rossa in 16th. Julius Anderson 17th with Alex Southgate in 18th. 19th place is David Greenwood. 20th place Franco Lopez, and on the back row of the grid we have Roberto Gamba and Robert Hunter for Toro Rosso. So there we are. That is the grid for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the third night race of the season, although it's the only day to night race of the Formula 1 calendar, I might add as well. But anyway, the team news for this week is that Rick Yan will leave Sauber and will join Force India next season, and in a surprise to a number of people, Franco Gamba and Robert Hunter will remain at Toro Rosso for this for next season, I should say. So that's interesting. I mean, I'm not too surprised about Hunter staying. Franco Gamba, I guess, he's had a difficult season, but I suppose in a way you could say he's lucky, but we'll see if he can improve next season, because I doubt he'll get more chances than he's had right now. But anyway, we are now on the grid, 55 laps around the Yas Marina circuit. And we are underway for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Who's going to get the jump into the first corner? Will it be Quagg or will it be Kuba? And it looks like I think it's going to be Quagg, is it? Or is Kuba's on the inside? No, he's backed off, and I think Quagg has got the lead, has he? Or unless Kuba's on the inside. And no, Kuba has passed him and has taken the lead, coming around into turn 2. And now McKenzie's trying to go around the outside of Quagg. Can he make it stick is the answer? And no, he can't. So, what a good start by Waze Kuba taking the lead. Quagg trying to get back as they come into the chicane here, heading towards the hairpin for the long back straight, one of the longest ones on the calendar, I might add. As we're coming on to the back straight now, Kuba first, Quagg second, McKenzie third, Volker down to fourth, obviously. I forgot to mention that McKenzie got past Volker for third place, as that is Vedrino in fifth. As we're looking at the battle for second place, I think Quagg is under pressure from McKenzie, who's on the inside, coming into the hairpin. Will he make the move stick for second place? And the answer is, I can't see, as David Greenwood is missing a rear wing, and there has obviously been a collision at the back, and David Greenwood, who had made a bad start, I think he's done 19th, he dropped a couple of positions, and he gets hit from behind by Roberto Gamba in the Marussia there, and there was the contact, knocks the Venezuela, knocks the wing and the Venezuela logo off it there, and that was why there was contact. There was a bit of contact also, actually, sorry, that was with De Rossa, between De Rossa and Glazebrook, so that was actually unrelated, but they got away without any damage. As we're looking on board with Julius Anderson, coming down the back straight, and what happened to him, and then he goes into the back of De Rossa, so De Rossa was lucky to get away with the collision earlier on, unfortunately gets hit from behind, and now he's lost his rear wing. As we look at the battle for P5, this is between Florian Volker and Joseph Willis, as Vedrino has also got past Volker as well, which you didn't see on camera, but I think they must have heavy fuel loads, because I think Vedrino had, Volker had actually quite a heavy fuel load. Willis has got quite a light one, and I'm pretty sure Quagg must have a heavy one as well, because his pace is not very good right now, and the Mercedes are definitely streaking away. Well, we'll see at the end of the lap how far they are away. I don't think they're necessarily getting away too quickly yet, but I think that they're going for the one-stop. I think Volker and Quark are going to go for the one-stop as Cooper sets the fastest lap as we go across the line. As Willis is right behind Volker. He's going to try and make a move into the first corner. He's going around the outside. Will he do a swap to the inside? No, he doesn't. He stays behind as Ionescu and Gal are battling behind with Amakar in 7th. And obviously the two Red Bulls have both got past Michael Mocho as well, as Quark's obviously down to P3. And already Vedrina is coming up close to him as De Rossa goes and outbreaks himself, and he spins coming into the pit lane. And it looked like he got a bit out of shape coming into the pit lane. He spins, avoids any more damage than he had, but well, probably the reason why he did it is because he's stuck behind his teammate David Greenwood, so he's going to be held up at the pits anyway. So, could it have been tactical? I mean, who knows? But anyway, regardless, he spins. That will certainly hurt his progress. But as we're looking on board with the pink helmet of Franco Gamba, who right now is in 13th place, sorry, as Michael Mucho is just ahead in 11th. Ionescu is down to 10th, and actually Will Neller's gained a couple of positions as well. He's up at P9. Good start by him, as now Alex Southgate's on the inside of the Caterham, coming into the hairpin, and he moves up into P4, gets past Cameron Anderson, makes the move stick for P14, and now he's going to try and get past the Toro Rosso of Franco Gamba just in front of him. As we look at Kuba and Mackenzie, they've actually already lapped De Rossa. That's how much he was held up. As we're looking at the overtake by Veteran Vedrina on Romain Quark coming into the first corner. Both go wide. Quark goes onto the AstroTurf there and goes over the curb. Nearly loses it, but just about manages to recover the position. So that's not been a good race so far for Romain Quark, and he's dropping down the order like a stone here. As we're looking at Joseph Willows coming onto the back straight behind the teammate, behind his teammate, and he now I think makes the move stick for P5 as Florian Volker went wide coming onto the back straight there. Got a bad run. As now we're looking at a battle for P11. This is between Rick Yan, Michael Mocho, Franco Gamba's there, Alex Southgate's there as well behind. It's going to get very, very close. Southgate trying to make a move, and Rick Yan does make a move into the chicane, and he makes it stick as Mocho locks up, and it goes, oh, he nearly takes out Franco Gamba there. He pushes him wide. But that was a good move there by Rick Yan coming into... You don't see actually very many moves coming into that corner. He made a move on the inside. Good move there by the Chinese driver. Makes it stick into P11. So the Mocho did lock up a bit as well. So he went wide, got a terrible exit, and then... Oh, so nearly swiped the front of Gamba's car off there. That was very, very close indeed. We're looking at Will Neller currently on a charge from his poor grid position. Now moving up the order, trying to get past Florian Volker, who is also dropping down the order very, very rapidly indeed. It's not going too well for him at the moment, as Neller is alongside and he's past him. He does make the move stick, unless Volker, hang on, Volker's going to get back actually into the hairpin. Is he going to make it stick back? And yes, he does actually. And he gets the position back there straight away. Good battling there by the German driver, but now Neller is going to have the slipstream coming onto the straight, so it might not last for too long. Neller's going round the outside of the Ferrari. Will he make it stick before the corner? And the answer is no, he can't quite make it stick before the corner. I thought he might try to go around the outside, but it's difficult to go around the outside. Going down towards the end of the support pit straight is now Ionescu and Carr are closing up on these two as well. Kuba right now has got just about a 2-second lead over Mackenzie in second, who are 6 seconds clear of Veteran Vedrina behind. So they've got a pretty good gap, I have to say, as they're coming on to the start-finish line, on to lap 6 of the Grand Prix. It's looking good for the two Mercedes right now as they come through the first corner. As we're looking at the battle for P4, sorry, I thought the Lotus was involved there, but they're just trying to get through the traffic, as Willis is trying to get on the inside of Quark, who's held up by that slow Lotus of De Rossa, and he goes a bit wide, but he can't quite make it stick there. But now De Rossa, and I think Nicolas Gal get involved in this as well, as he gets past the Lotus coming through turn 3. And he makes it past him, and now he's going to... Unfortunately, he's lost a bit of back... He's lost some time to Willows in front of him, trying to get past him there. And then they're trying to make a move on the back of Volker. He's going to do the same thing again on the straight, but will he actually get it done and hold him off is the big question as they're coming around. And Volker's done the same mistake again. He goes wide, and surely that's going to allow Neller to go through, and yes, it does. And that is the move completed for Will Neller, so that was easy enough. But now Volker is going to have Carr and Ionescu to deal with behind him, so he's got to be very careful, as Michael Mocho's struggling as well, it seems. I don't know if he's on the heavy fuel load as well, as there's and Karen Anderson's got a problem, and Anderson's engine has blown coming on to the back straight, as now Southgate trying to make a move on the inside of Franco Gamba coming into the hairpin, and I think there was a bit of contact there between the two, I think they got away with damage just about. And now Franco Lopez is now trying to overtake as well. But Cameron Anderson, unfortunately, it's not been a very good season for him. And unfortunately, he won't be getting a seat for next season. So next race will be his last race in the series, unless he obviously stays and decides to sign up for DTM. I don't know if he will or not. But anyway, as we look at Anderson coming through the chicane, and unfortunately he's going to have to pull the car off to the side of the track. I mean, it's still going right now, but any minute now it is going to cut out. So go soon. We've got yet another. Oh, and Inescu's out. Inescu's out, and there's another car with him, and I think that was a Ferrari. And there's another car out, and that Southgate is out. There's 3 cars out in one corner there, and the Ferrari. What Ferrari is that? Florin Volker. It is Florin Volker. And the Southgate is out as well as Anderson pulls off. So we've now had 4 cars retire on 1 lap. So what on earth has happened here? Coming into the hotel, Volker goes wide and loses position to Carlin. Oh my word! And rejoins right in the path of Robert Inescu there. Is not, I imagine, Volker is going to get a punishment for that, because that was a very unsafe rejoin, that is for sure. He's taken himself and Southgate out as Rick Yan, and oh, he hits the wheel from one of the cars, so he's going to have to go into the pits. And Southgate, he must have hit the debris as well, I guess. And yes, he did. He hits the debris, and unfortunately for Southgate, an innocent bystander in that is also out of the race. So the incident will be investigated. So we will find out what the punishment will be of that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Volker gets something for that, because well, that was I think entirely his fault, really. Made the mistake and then rejoined in front of Inescu and caused that whole scene, you could say. As we're looking at the battle between the two Williamses now, Nello's going round the outside of Quag, coming down the back straight. Will he have the move done into the corner? And the answer is no, he won't. Quag will hold it, but Nello's going to have such a better run coming onto the back straight, and surely he's going to make the moves, try and make a move, coming past the sport pits. And he's actually going to go around the outside, is he? And yes, he actually does go around the outside. Is he going to have enough power to get past it before the corner? Will he try and go around the outside? And yes, he does complete a Quag. So as his teammate just lets him go through quite easily there. But Quag, he was started on pole position, and he's now dropped to P7 in just 8 laps. It's not been a good race for him, as we're looking on the was it Marussia of, I think, that's Franco Lopez, who's battling with Frank Gamba. So the two Francos battling each other for the last point spot right now, as Lopez going on the inside of Gamba, coming towards the hairpin at the end of the back straight. And will he make the move stick? And yes, he does. He makes it up into P10, and now he's going to try and get past the Force India of Michael Boccio, as there's Hunter defending from Oliver Glazebrook for P12 there. I don't think Lopez is quite going to get close to him now, but he will get close to him on the straight. But part of the reason why he's doing so well is he's got a very light fuel load, because he's in fact going to be pitting at the end of this lap, as he's on the inside of Michael Boccio coming into the hairpin. Will he make the move stick? And the answer is no. Hang on, Moccio's holding it around the outside, and Franco Lopez goes wide, and that could give Franco Gamba the chance to get back at him, and he does indeed get past. But will Lopez make another move at the end of the straight? I don't know. Is he going to be close enough? And no, I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to bother, because he might as well just keep it calm, because he's going to be pitting at the end of this lap anyway, although he nearly tried it actually on the inside of Franco Gamba, so he's lucky there wasn't any contact, as there's the battle continuing between Hunter and Glazebrook. Glazebrook, who at the moment doesn't have a seat for next season. They don't know where he's going to go. Well, they think the only place that he's probably like to go is, I think, McLaren. But other than that, I don't know. But anyway, we're looking at the battle raging on. Franco Lopez will be pitting at the end of this lap, so probably try and see if we can get the undercut on these two that he's been battling with, as he comes round behind the Toro Rosso of Franco Gamba's. Moccio has a very bad run coming through the corner there. Goes very slowly, but Franco Lopez does get to the right and manages to get into the pit entry very well, in an orderly fashion. As we're having a look, and Florenberg will receive a 10-place grid penalty for causing the incident with Southgate, Inescu and Yan. I don't doubt that he was going to get a penalty 10 places. I mean, I don't know if that's too harsh, but I think probably a grid penalty, I think, is fair enough. 10, I think, is probably about the maximum we usually give penalties. We don't like to give them, but that, I think, was going to be pretty obvious, that one, as Franco Lopez has done a 7.2 in his stop. And where is he going to rejoin back onto the track? He rejoined at about P14 or 15, as we're looking at the Williams of Wiltonella, who has gained 8 seconds to Quark since he overtook him. That is ridiculous. Improving the fuel difference between the two drivers as now he's on the inside of Miguel Gal, coming down the front straight, or coming down the back straight I should say, and he makes the move stick for P5. Has he done it? And yes, he has. He does just about make the move stick, because Gal was just about trying to hold it around the outside there, but he does make the move stick for P5, so Gal now down to P6. Then obviously on a light fuel load, Gal on a relatively light one, but still slightly heavier. As we're looking right now at Veteran Vidrina, who's running very well at the moment in P3 for McLaren, currently all on his own. He's 11 seconds behind Mackenzie, and he's got a 8-second gap to Joseph Willows behind him, so he's all on his own right now on the podium. They're having a very lonely race, but how much fuel has he got? I think that's 8.6, so he's got a few laps to go before he pits yet, so we'll see. He's looking at Joseph Willows coming around the corner now. He's got actually Wiltonella, who's coming up behind him, although he won't be for much longer because Willows will be in fact pitting, so he won't have to deal with Nella trying to overtake him as he now goes into the pits for the first time. Coming down into the pits, and obviously it's an unusual pit exit as well, so in fact as the pit exit goes under the track, which does not happen on any other circuits. So as we look at Willows now pitting, how quick will the stop be? 7.1, so I think like a tenth quicker I think it was than Franco Lopez as he comes out of the pits. And let's see where he comes back out onto the track. Will he come actually ahead of Michael Mocho in the Force India? Will be an interesting question as he's just coming across the line. I think he will, so that'll be good for him. And oh wait, Waze Cooper's off! Waze Cooper, the race leader, is off! And his car is up in smoke completely. You can't even see the driver. But Waze Cooper, who had a comfortable lead, is out of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I can't quite believe what has just happened there, but the engine is seemingly blown up on him. And oh my goodness me, what on earth has happened? It was just before his first pit stop. He had a fairly comfortable lead. He was managing it, you could say, to Mackenzie, and it looked like it was another engine problem just coming onto the back straight. And unfortunately, it blew up on him as he was actually about to come up and lap. I think that is the Lotus of David Greenwood. And there's Mackenzie, and there it goes, just coming down the straight. It blows up on him, right in front of Jay Mackenzie's path. He'll level that way, but he pulls off actually quite quickly. To be fair, does Kuba. But wowee, that is unbelievable. Can't believe that's happened. I mean, Kuba has been unlucky as his car has failed on him quite a few times this season. Compared to his teammate Mackenzie. Oh no, and Veteran Vidrina is out. Veteran Vidrina, who is set to take P2 after the failure of Kuba, is going to get no points as well, and he has an oil leak. Oh my word, I can't quite believe it. And it actually was the same problem that Kuba had, as a matter of fact. I didn't realise what the actual problem was. It was an oil leak, and now Veteran Vidrina has suffered the exact same issue. Oh my goodness me, Mackenzie can't quite believe his luck. He's got such a comfortable lead out in front. He must not believe it. Everything is Christmas, Easter, all the seasons are coming at once for Jay Mackenzie right now. He's already won the title and everything is just going his way. But wow. So Veteran Vidrina, he could have had a P2. I think it would have equalled his best result of the season. But that is very, very unlucky for the Croatian driver there, as Miguel Gal goes past him onto the straight, as Wiltonella comes in for his first pit stop at the Grand Prix. How quickly was that? 6.9, so slightly quicker than the other two we've seen. So where is he going to come out on track will be the interesting thing. So he's going to come out, I think, well, it'll be ahead of Vidrina because he's out anyway. So who is behind Vidrina? I'm not sure who it is, but he's going to come out in some clear air. Actually, it's Joseph Willows, in fact. So will he come out actually ahead of Joseph Willows? That'll be interesting to see as he comes out of the pits, and I think he will just about, and yes, he will. Just see Nella's car coming, and there he is. So Nella crucially does in fact come out ahead of Willows. That's exactly what he needed. So he's certainly gained a few positions so far in this race. Has Wiltonella up into the top 5 now. Quark is running in P3 right now, but he's got a very heavy fuel load, so he's struggling at the moment. As Franco Gamba and Michael Mocho are still continuing this battle that has been raging on for the last few laps. Raging on, I think, for about 5 or 6 laps or so. As now Franco Gamba is right behind Mocho coming onto the back straight. Will he make a move at the end of the back straight will be the big question, and let's have a look and see. Does he make the move? He's right behind, side by side. I think they are just about. As Gamma on the inside. Is he going to have the move done? He's on the inside. Has he got it? And no, I don't think he has. Mocho's just about held it, unless Gamma can go around the outside. And yes, he can. Or can he? He goes a little bit wide over the curb now, and now Mocho could get back at him on the coming past the support pitch, but he's on the outside of Franco Gamma coming into the corner. So will he have enough power to get ahead of him before the corner? And the answer is, I don't think he's got it. Franco Gamma surely must have the move done, and yes, he does. He finally makes it past Michael Mocho into P7. So that battle's been going on, and I imagine it will continue, although Mocho actually just have a lot of fuel. Haven't seen what Franco Gamba's was, but that battle might still go on later on in the race, possibly. It says Wilnella right now in P5. Car running in P4 at the moment, Quagga P3. As Mocho locks up and goes wide, coming under the hotel there. That could have gone very nastily indeed. Oh, it just goes over the... no, it's around there. Goes over, just goes a little bit wide, missed the apex of the corner by about 10 years there, but fortunately manages to get back on the track, as now Franco Gamma does indeed pit for the first time, so I don't know if he'll catch Michael Mocho before he has to pit again, but let's just see how much fuel they actually put in to his car. Let's have a look and see, shall we? So he pits, and how much fuel they're going to put in. So 29 laps, so I think he'll be pitting once more before the end, so it'll be a two-stop strategy for Franco Gamma. So it'll be interesting to see what the best strategy is. I think it's probably, I guess I'd imagine a two-stop would be the best one. Three-stop, I mean, depends how much pace you've got, really. Nella, I mean, he hasn't got that much fuel left, so I reckon he could be going for a three-stop here. Oh, Robert Hunter makes a mistake, battling, and he goes wide again, and he just about avoids the walls. Oliver Glazebrook, and oh no! And oh, I thought he'd got away with it, but he's just unfortunately eliminated himself again, and that is Robert Hunter out of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I mean, he and Oliver Glazebrook have been battling pretty much since the start of the race. Goes over the curb, and unfortunately that damages the car, and that is Robert Hunter out of the Monaco Grand Prix. So, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So I have to have a look at it again. So I said he and Glazebrook have been battling pretty much almost since the start of the race. Glazebrook cannot get past, so he went wide onto the curb, and then just went wide again, and he just avoided the wall. He thought, oh yes, he probably thought he'd recovered it, but then went over the curb, and there goes his wing and front right wheel. Or right front wheel, I think is the way you should be saying it. As Nicolas Gao now comes in for his final stop of the Grand Prix. His final stop of the Grand Prix. Why am I saying that? It's lap 19, George. Anyway, he comes in for his first stop of the race. God. As he comes in, how quick is his stop? And let's see where he comes out. 8.7. That's quite slow, actually. So I'd be interested to see if he comes out ahead of Will Neller, actually. So Carl's currently right now in P3, but I imagine he'll probably go past, will he? I don't know. Where is Will Neller on track? I'd be interested to see. So Carl's now going to come across the line, so I think will he get ahead of Nicolas Gao? I'm not sure, and no, that Neller does indeed get out ahead of him, so I think there could be a good battle going on between Gao and Neller before the end of the race, as now Oliver Glazebrook comes in for his first stop of the Grand Prix. 20 laps he's done, and 20 laps of fuel goes in. So I think he'll be doing a two-stop. I would imagine. I would think it'd be stupid to do a three. As he comes down under the track, or to go under the track, out the pits. So let's see where he comes out on track. He comes out, I think, about P12. As now Jay McKenzie, the world champion, might I add. I should say the world champion, Jay McKenzie, comes in for a pit stop. And let's see where he comes out onto the track. And where is he going to come out? It's going to be the big question. So he pits. It's a 7.3 second stop. And so I imagine actually, because he's got such a big lead, he'll probably come out in P1. Well, stay in P1, I should say. As we look at Nicolas Gao going to overtake the Force India of car who he came up behind of in the stops. He's just about alongside the British driver. Will he make the move stick? And he's on the inside. Has he got it done? No, car's holding it around the outside. But Gal, I think, has stayed around the outside and has managed to get the move done for the next corner. And now Joseph Willows is right behind Carr as well. And will he try and make a move stick coming down the end of the support pit straight? He's got the slipstream. Carr's trying to get back at Gal. And will Willows try and make a move on the inside of Carr? No, he can't quite do it. Has to wait and bide his time. There's not really many overtaking spots until we get to the end of the lap, really. So Willows is going to have to wait a few corners. Well, he won't need to worry about that now as he comes into the pits. Carr actually dropped right behind. The car actually must have pitted, I think, as Willows comes in for his stop, and it's a 6.2 second stop. It's pretty quick there from Ferrari. Comes out, it'll be behind Gal, and I'll be interested to see if he was out behind Michael Mocho as he comes now down towards the pit exit. And he comes now under the track, and Mocho's only just come across the line, so I think Willows should come out ahead of Mocho, although I think he'll be pretty close. As he comes through the pit exit, where is Mocho? And I think Willows still came out ahead as Nella comes in. So the question is, will Nella go to the end, or will he do a 3-stop strategy? Will be the big question. Gal's 12 seconds behind him, so he's built a gap, so he's clearly quick, Will Nella. So it's just I bet he's probably gutted that he had a terrible qualifying, because it could have been the race could have been a lot better had he not had to recover through so many cars. 20 laps, so yep, it will be a 3 stops. This is going to be very interesting to see if Nella can make this work. So he comes out of the pits, he's going to be behind Nicolas Gal. Will he be behind Joseph Willows? No, he won't be behind Joseph Willows because he actually just pitted, so he'll be ahead of the Ferrari of Joseph Willows as he comes now down under the track, and he rejoins in P4. So now looking at the Sauber of Rick Yan, I thought he was going to miss the pit entry there. As he comes into the pits, now just going to drop outside of the points, drops behind Lopez or drop behind Roberto Gamba. As he now comes in for his second stop. I think is this his second stop? I believe it is. 15 laps, so yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on the 3 stop as well, is Rick Yan. I need to just check to be sure. As he comes out the pits, and where's he going to come out on the track? So he's going to come out in P10. He's going to come out behind the 2 Gambas, Franco and Roberto. This has now actually been lapped by Jamie McKenzie. Is he going to come out ahead of his teammate Oliver Glazebrook? I think Glazebrook might just about come out in front, I think, as he comes exiting the pits. And where's Glazebrook? And yet Glazebrook has just come out in front, as now Franco Lopez comes in for a stop for Marussia. And where is he going to come out onto the track? Will he come out ahead of Oliver Glazebrook will be a big question as he's coming towards the exit, and the answer is no, actually, because Glazebrook has just come across the line, so Glazebrook will be ahead. And yep, he's gone ahead, and so is Rick Yan, so come up in front of Julius Anderson. As now Roberto Gamba, who was running a P8, and actually his fuel was very, very low, actually, will be coming into the pits. And the question is, will it be for his final stop? Will be the big question, because he's on lap 32 of 55, so we're over the halfway point. So will Roberto Gamba go to the end? And let's see, will he go to the end? And yes, he will go to the end as he hits. And how quick is this stop? 8 seconds. Goes out down to P12, so he'll be going to the end. So let's see where he will finish in this race. As we look at Gamba coming towards the pit exit, so I think he might actually come up behind Julius Anderson in the Caterham. They come through the final couple of holes, and yes, he will actually. So come out ahead of David Greenwood, who I believe is he the last one to still be running, unless De Rossa is still running. I think De Rossa actually is still running. Yes, he is actually. So he's third last, you could say, because we've still got 15 runners. As Rick Yan is now right behind his teammate Oliver Glazebrook. Will he try and make a move coming down the back straight? It's just about side by side between the 2 Sauber drivers. Yan on the inside, and he's surely got the move done, and he moves up into P9 in front of Oliver Glazebrook. It's not what he wants to say, Glazebrook, because he wants to get a seat for next season, because they're not sure where he's going to go, because there's going to be a number of seats announced at the final race, the Brazilian Grand Prix, as we look at the cars coming through corner. And Oliver Glazebrook, just as I was saying it, he's retired with a mechanical failure. Oh dear me, that's not good for Glazebrook and his seat chances there. Good news though for Michael Mocho, who is not sure if he's going to get a seat for next season either, who is still at the moment running, but Glazebrook is unfortunately out. I think it looked like it was a suspension problem for him. So let's have a look at the replay coming down, and yes, I think it was a suspension failure because it was the front right the front right wheel. I didn't pronounce that right. That was the problem. And that has forced and put him into retirement. So Quag, who is running a P2, still has not pitted yet. It's quite incredible. He's done 35 laps on one set of tyres. That is quite incredible. But he must be really, really strong. I don't know how he's managed to get done for so long. And somehow Miguel Osgal avoids making contact with Quag and makes the move stick for P2. I have no idea how he's managed to get away with that. That is quite incredible how there was no contact there. Quag, I think, moved out the way just in time, but Gal was certainly not going to stop, and because he desperately wanted to get past him. Look how close it was. Had Quag not moved just a slight bit to the right there to actually make it into the corner, then there would have been contact there for sure, and it could have been bad for both drivers. They could have both retired on the spot right there, but they've got away with it, and they're still running as Quag finally makes his one and only stop of the race. And let's see where he comes back out onto track. Warniller obviously will be still making one more stop, so Quag could be on for. Oh, hang on a minute, what's happened here? There's a Force India that is, and there's Michael Mocho, and what on earth has happened? He's blocking Quag into the pits. I was about to say Quag had a chance of a podium, but I think that chance might now have gone. And oh my word, he's blocked Quag coming into the pits. This is Brazil 2010 all over again. And oh my goodness me, we need to find out what happened to Mocho there, because that has severely affected Quag there. And Mocho, he does go into his pit box, but I don't know if the team will necessarily be able to repair that or not. The team are actually coming out for a pit stop, but I don't know whether they'll still be able to fix his car. And let's see, so they pit him, so they change all four tyres apparently, and oh, there's a crash, and Rick Yan is out, and Franco Lopez is out, and oh my word, everything is happening right now. Michael Mocho is trying to rejoin, but a marshal is coming there, and I think that could be his race over, and I think Michael Mocho is out. But crucially, but also Franco Lopez and Rick Yan are also out of this race as well. So we need to find out what has happened to those two drivers, because oh my goodness, what is going on? Like everyone is just losing it here. So Michael Mocho was actually pitting this lap, as a matter of fact, for his final stop, and he just gets he completely misses the pit entry, goes to the wall as you do, and then just hits the wall. Doesn't realise there is another wall on the side there, and he hits that. And that is what caused him to go into the pit lane on just 3 wheels. But this is what happened to Rick Yan. Oh, he made contact with Franco Gamba, and then the other Franco Lopez, couldn't quite go out the outside in time, didn't see him in time, and that is what has caused the retirement of both those cars. So I don't think we've got very many cars running now. I think we've only got about 11. I think we've got left running. So Zamar Kar comes in for his final stop of the race. For Force India, he comes in, but wow, this has been some race, I have to say. Can't quite believe what is going on, really. As Carr comes out of the pits, and where will he come out? I think he'll come out in P6, because I think Franco Gamba must be quite far behind. Don't remember him being so close, because Franco Gamba's had to battled a lot this race. There's a 2-stop for him as De Rosa now comes into the pits. Oh, I thought he was about to do the same thing as Mocho. Then he looked to be going, taking a very, very wide entry into the pits. And yeah, because Lopez is out, so yes, there is in fact just 11 cars left in this race. As De Rosa now comes into his pit box, and let's see where he comes out of it. And so pits for 4 and 5.7 seconds it is. So Nicolas Gal finally pits, comes out of his pit box, and that was 5.9. So now the big question is, so where's actually Will Miller? I don't know where Will Miller is on track, because I think those two might battle for what's going to be P2 at the end of this race. As we look at Julius Anderson coming in for his final stop, so he's probably going to get some points out of this race. Might be his last one. We don't know what's going to happen in Brazil, and obviously we don't know with regards to what is going to happen to his seat for next year, because he's one of the drivers whose seats are in doubt, which has surprised many people, as Joseph Willows comes in for his final stop of the race. Because Gal comes out, and he does indeed come out behind Will Nella, but crucially I think Nella obviously has to make one more stop before the end, so we will see if he can do it or not. And see, as we look at Jamie Mackenzie now coming in for his final stop, he's so far clear at the front of the field, and he'll be even clearer once Nella pits, as he himself pits for the final time. And it just had it so easy. He might also just be having smoking a cigar in the driver's seat. It's been so easy since Kuba retired, and since Vedrina retired as well. As he comes in for his final stop, 70 laps of fuel, 8 seconds, and he comes out still in the lead. So the only driver I think we're going to have to wait for another stop is going to be Will Nella. He'll be pitting probably in a lap or so time. So the question is, will he come out ahead of Gal, and if not, will he be able to close on Gal to overtake him before the end of the race? So let's see. He comes out, as Mackenzie comes out the pits comfortably in P1, comes around the pit exit out of it, and is still in the lead. As Franco Gamba actually comes in, I didn't realise he had pitted one more time before the end, comes in for his final stop. And let's see, so it looks like he'll actually get some points as well, which we are much needed relief. Well, it is certainly a relief that he's got a drive for next season, but these points would be a nice bonus to him before the end of the season. 6.1 second stop, so he'll come out, I think, will he come out behind or ahead of Julius Anderson in the Caterham will be the big question. And I believe that Gamble will come out in front of him, and yes, he will, because he's coming out the pit exit, coming out the tunnel, and Anderson hasn't come across the line yet, so yep, it looks like it will be P8 for Franco Gamba. And finally, Will Nella does indeed make his final stop of the race for Williams as he comes into the pits with 10 laps to go, so it's quite late, but they'll certainly have a lot of pace before the end of the race. So he comes in. Let's see how quick his stop will be. And where is he going to come on track? Will he come out behind or ahead of Gal will be the question. I don't even know the gap actually between him and Gal, so so we will find out. And Gal's actually already come across the line, so Gal will be ahead of Will Nella. So I think Nella will actually be a fair bit behind, actually a lot further behind than I thought he would be. So I think Nella's going to have to really turn up the gas if he wants to, or put his foot, put the pedal to the metal if he wants to catch Milos Gowers. He actually got the Lotus annoyingly coming out ahead of him at the stop. But anyway, we're now on to the final lap of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Mackenzie's got a unbelievably comfortable lead over Gal in second place, who's still ahead of Nella. So Nella obviously hasn't closed up to him enough, although the gap was a bit excessive to say the least anyway, as Mackenzie goes past the Caterham there of Julius Anderson to lap him. And he's got Joseph Willows running in P5 right now, who I don't know if he'll catch him before the end, but he'll probably just let him finish in front as he comes around heading towards the support pit straight. And so at the moment there's 11 cars left, so the only person actually who won't get any points this race will in fact be De Rossa, following what happened, and obviously following the collision on the first lap and then the spin coming into the pits as well. But for Mackenzie, it has been a very, very comfortable race. Took the lead after Waze Kuba's retirement due to a problem, and he's just never looked back since. And everyone felt behind him fell to the wayside as we had Volker retire, Ionescu retire, and veteran Vedrina, who was set to be probably a bit closer, who most likely probably would have taken P2, retire with an engine problem, or with an oil leak I should say. But mechanical failures really struck a lot of cars today, although collisions were there as well, but it doesn't matter right now. Jamie Mackenzie, the 2014 champion, coming around the final corner, and Jamie Mackenzie, the reigning 2014 world champion, will win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Congratulations to him. So there we are, and it And as well, two Mercedes who are officially the 2014 Constructors Champions. I nearly forgot about that completely there. So Mercedes are the Constructors Champions, so well done to them as well. So it's double for Mercedes. Now who look at Armour Cars to take a decent result in P6. Obviously one of the drivers who kept it out of trouble. We didn't really see much of him all race, but he kept it clean. And he'll come across the line in P6, so well done to him. And now Nicholas Gall, who is ahead of Will Neller, as there's Neller just in the distance, so we need probably maybe 2 or 3 more laps, Neller. He might have got him, but regardless, Nicholas Gall comes round the final corner and will take P2 for Red Bull. Good result for him. And Will Neller will come across the line, will take P3 ahead of his teammate Romain Quag, as David Green will take the last point of the race for Lotus. Roberto Gamba set to come across the line in P7. A very solid race by him as well, by all accounts, as he comes round the final couple of corners. Now coming round the final corner, and he will now take P7 across the line. And there he goes. And P4 will be Romain Quag. That one stop really didn't do him any favours. He actually almost got lapped actually by Mackenzie actually in the end, as Franco Gamba takes 8th place. And finally Kirosan Badorosa comes across the line in 11th position, although actually he won't be the last one because we're still waiting in fact for Joseph Willows to come across the line to take P5 for Ferrari. Coming around the final corner, and Willows will take P5, the last car to come across the line. So there we go. Mackenzie winning the race from Mercedes and ensuring they become the Constructors Champions for 2014. So all bets will be off for the final race. As here are your full race results. So Mackenzie wins with Nicholas Gall in 2nd, Woolen 3rd, Romain Quag 4th, Joseph Willows 5th, Armour Cars 6th, Roberto Gamba 7th, Franco Gamba 8th, Julius Anderson 9th, and David Greer completing the points in 10th, with Kirosan Badorosa in 11th. The last car to finish the race, with Jamie Ketty setting the fastest lap, a 1:45.8, with the following drivers all retiring: Franco Lopez, Rick Yan, Michael Mocho, Oliver Glazebrook, Robert Hunter, Vedran Rutina, Waze Kuba, Alex Southgate, Robert Ionescu, Florian Volker, and Cameron Anderson, the 11 drivers who retired from this race. So now we're going to take a look at the drivers and constructor standings, and here is the driver standings. So obviously Mackenzie champion, way ahead of Quag by 85 points. The battle for 2nd place will still be on, but Neller will certainly be 3rd regardless if he doesn't get 2nd or not. Kuba in 4th, Joseph Willows up to 5th ahead of Volker and Ionescu, Gall in 8th, Southgate in 9th, Armour Car up to 10th ahead of Vedran Rutina by just a single point. So, as we look at the rest of the order, Ricky Harkness is still in 12th and will still remain there, so it's a good point to start by him. Julius Anderson 13th, Rick Yan 14th, Oliver Glazebrook 15th, Roberto Gamba up to 16th, Franco Gamba down to 17th, David Greer up to 18th, Robert Hunter down to 19th, DeRossa in 20th, Franco Gamba up to 21st ahead of Michael Mocho in 22nd, and last in the standings will be Cameron Anderson for KTM, who has just 5 points. So now finally we're going to take a look at the constructors' standings, with Mercedes obviously being the champions ahead of Williams in 2nd, who will finish 2nd, Ferrari in 3rd. There's still going to be a battle between Ferrari and Red Bull for 3rd in the championship. McLaren in 5th, with Force India 6th, Sauber in 7th, Marussia 8th, Caterham 9th, Lotus 10th, and Toro Rosso in 11th place. So there we go. That has been it for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to, as usual, vote for your driver of the day and give the race a rating out of 10. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we will see you for the final round of the 2014 season. I can't believe I'm saying that. The final round, the Brazilian Grand Prix at Interlagos. So thank you very much for watching, everyone, and we'll see you there.